Welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm your host, Pete Mezzetti. My guest this evening is Ray Andrewsen, who is with the Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce. Ray, welcome.
It's great to be back here, Pete.
Good to see you.
Same here.
Good to see you. What's new?
Well, a lot, obviously, since the last time we were together.
That's right.
We've had wonderful conversations over the years, you and I, when I was general manager and morning host at WQUN.
That's right.
At Quinnipiac University. Obviously, circumstances have changed. The radio station is off the air.
Yes.
And now we've all moved on to new careers. And
that's right.
That's part of the reason I'm here tonight, to tell you about my journey and search this past year and career changing at a part of my career where I didn't expect that to happen, but it did happen. And now I've landed a new role as Director of Membership Services with the Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce.
You like it?
I love it. It's a wonderful extension of my broad network, but also I'm a New Haven kid.
Yes.
I'm working just perhaps half a mile away from where I was born.
Okay.
So I guess I didn't get very far in life.
No, you didn't.
But it's great to look out on the green where so many of those buildings have touched my life in many meaningful and important ways. And where I formed my family and have many friends and know a lot of the people in the region over the years who are in many endeavors in business, in politics, and public service, who have made the New Haven area home, and I'm just really happy to be here.
Excellent, excellent. Now let's talk about the transition from your former career to what you're doing now.
Well, it was interesting because I had been in broadcasting for 33 years. Right. And I had been in management, operations management. I'd been on air, a talk show host, a news anchor, voiceover artist. I had hosted various music shows and enjoyed every minute of it. I just loved the last 33 years, particularly 22 years at WQUN and Quinnipiac University. It was a great ride. Yeah. And it was the type of job, my last job for 22 years, of hyper community service and entertainment in my hometown and local community that was deeply meaningful. We talked about that frequently here on this program. That's right. And now with circumstances changing in media, and they are changing rapidly. Oh yeah. Over to a complete digital age. Content is spread across so many platforms now. It's very difficult to keep up. Yes. The advertising pie, how much money is spent on that advertising, is also getting sliced and diced considerably for radio, television, the terrestrial broadcast outlets. And now a lot of that is moving over to digital platforms as well. And including this program, which is part of a podcast and a digital presentation with the New Haven Independent Radio Station. That's right. With Paul Bass in New Haven. So much is changing. It is. And rapidly. So at this point, and we wanted to talk originally about career change at some point after doing something for so many years. Right. I was faced this past year with a very difficult and challenging question of what to do with all the skills and experience and theoretical acquired wisdom over decades. And I had looked in a lot of service positions, did a self-analysis, which I think is very important, about what are my values? What is important to me? Yes. What are my strengths? And quite frankly, what are my weaknesses? Where are my blind spots? And it's not just my own job search, but I had worked with other people who are out networking, and making those meaningful friendships and communications over a period of time. And I learned a couple things. Number one, I think people who are over the age of 50, and I hope to be over the age of 50 someday, are scared. They're a little bit intimidated because they feel that the new economy doesn't highlight their experience and their acquired knowledge, and frankly, their emotional intelligence, their EQ, which is highly valued in the workplace. Absolutely. And strangely enough, don't see, and I was sort of impressed with how many resumes and how many other people I met with who had advanced degrees, MBAs, JD, some were PhD, and even with that very strong background of education and a strong work background, they sort of felt that at a particular point in their career, they couldn't make a change. and they would have to stay within their field or an allied field. And what was important to me is to take a step back and say, you know, I don't have to be what I've been. I've been doing things with skills and with talents and with experience that are highly applicable in other jobs.
Yeah.
And I believe sincerely there are two things that are so important in our lives these days. Human connection, because we're social creatures.
Right.
We need to shake hands. We need to pat each other on the back. We need to hug. We need to have friends.
Absolutely.
Can't have enough friends in this world. And we need, frankly, a base of contacts. And those contacts are supplied when you really invest in your character virtues.
Yes.
If you're a person of integrity, honesty, but especially of support and empathy for others. Right. So if you're helping other people along the line in your own career, in your own civic life, if you are a volunteer, if you don't spend a lot of your time on your inward needs, we all need to do some self-replenishment at points in our lives, if you really concentrate on that service, that outward approach, it does come back to help. Right. And we're in a culture now where 20% of the people in 1990 identified as lonely. Yeah. The number today is 40% by surveys. This is the Pew Research Center.
Oh, wow. That's
a tremendously large jump in how many people feel disconnected, isolated, and disengaged. So at this stage of my career, but also in thinking of what was successful about WQUN, it was community connection and public service and that outward approach to serving others. And in these times, we need more people to come back to that approach, I think, for engaged civic life, to be civically front and center with your efforts to make a better community, but also professionally to have that be part of your mindset, so that when you think about your work is of service to another business, to another person, to clients, to whatever the needs might be. And when you start to approach your career with the aspect and idea, from the perspective that you're serving others, the rewards come back. And that's why I love the Chamber, because the Chamber of Commerce is one of the best networking platforms you can ever have.
Absolutely.
And if you are at a mixer or engaged with the business community on a regular basis, invested in it for what I would consider modest sums of investment towards that end, the rewards do come back. And I've been there for a very brief time, the start of this year. But I've already seen people benefit from their connection to the Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce.
One thing that you and I have talked about over the years when you were on with me talking about the radio station, and I'm sure you don't miss it, getting up at 3 in the morning.
Well, I'm still getting up at 3 in the morning, Pete. I don't know why.
Why, Ray?
I have no idea. I mean, I think I have to check the Nikkei stock averages.
All right.
I guess that, I don't know. I'm up at 3 or 4. Old habits after 27 years of getting up.
I'm going to say, you're still up at...
Yeah, well, I'm a morning person. I've been in the office 6:30, 7 o'clock. I love mornings. Yeah. I still do. I suspect over time that will soften a bit. I may not be quite as geared towards the mornings. No. But on the other end of the spectrum there, on the other part of the clock, I have difficulty getting past 9 or 10 o'clock. Select evenings, Super Bowls, something that's an
hanging out with Pete Mezzetti.
Hanging out with Pete Mezzetti till hours of the night or something. To me, I just like seeing the sunrise. And I have this lovely, beautiful east-facing office at the Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce offices, which are on the 10th floor of 900 Chapel Street on the Green in New Haven.
Absolutely.
So my office looks out over that beautiful Pearl Harbor Memorial Q Bridge that lights up the beautiful blue and all the colors overnight. I see the Sound, I see 9th Square, I see 360 State Street, the train station, just the beautiful architecture, the facades along Church Street and that whole area. And the sun comes up in the morning into my office, and I really love it. It's just a beautiful setting.
Wow. So obviously you're sort of doing the same networking with the Chamber of Commerce in New Haven that you used to do, sort of the same aspect of things as far as networking. You got to get out there and get your word, get the word spread of who Ray Andrewsen is with the Chamber of Commerce. Why is that so important?
Well, it's very important because, again, from the human element, I think that we like to do business with people we know and we trust.
Right.
We'd like to think we're a click and drag and then deliver the box to your front doorstep culture. That has its place.
There's one of those in North Haven, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos and Amazon obviously have a wide network, and there are some distribution units where perhaps there are certain items it would be a lot more efficient to order something and have it delivered to your doorstep. However, we still need people to help us with sizing.
Absolutely.
With help and assistance in certain areas, for example, in retail, jewelry.
Right.
To see something in person, see color sizes, color coding, if you're buying clothing.
Right.
Any household goods, for example, to see something that you really want to touch it and feel it. And I think that increasingly people are aware that Amazon and certainly these other distribution points, you know, around the country where you can deliver certain goods, you can get them certain supplies easily, and it's much more efficient than driving to a store that may be about 30 or 45 minutes away.
Exactly.
But we still need, for a lot of our services, you know, the real hands-on approach. You know, you really need the human touch, that human element. And, you know, as I say about my barber, who I've been going to for a long time, and he cut my hair when I was a little boy, and I probably have less hair than when I was 2 or 3 at this point.
Probably.
But Ron the barber, who watches you as well, I told him one time, you know, why do you come here? I said, well, if I'm going to go be with somebody every couple of weeks and they have a very sharp instrument in their hand, I want to know them very, very well and trust them.
Right.
So it's, and I think that increasingly that sort of ongoing familiarity, the personal service nature, the helping of people, the connecting of people, the handshake, the business card, the direction to the website, the ongoing conversations you have with people, the councils, the committees, they all add up to a community. And it's, you find that the best businesses are the ones that are most invested in their community. And if they make that type of investment and they see that as value to their business, and they help other people in that regard, the business comes back.
And I'm sure even in your career now at the New Haven Chamber of Commerce, you're still out in the community doing, shaking hands, saying hello to people.
Well, we're very social creatures.
Absolutely.
We have morning mingles where we have panels and some very excellent conversation on very relevant business and social topics. It's not just about work, it's also about live and play. That's what a Chamber of Commerce focuses on. And we also have business after hours. Every month we have those events, and we'll be talking, I know, as the time goes on here, about some of the upcoming events that will be coming our way soon. But these are all meetings of people, anywhere, small groups from 12 to 24, morning mingles, up to 80 or 90 business after hours, 100, 120 people. We just had a wonderfully successful legislative breakfast over at Southern Connecticut State University with our top lawmakers, where people in business got a chance to meet, talk, and ask questions directly of our state leadership here in Connecticut. And that's vital. We need to make those connections so that people have an informal, yet formal setting where they can have a conversation, have it be meaningful, have their questions asked, and not have to do it electronically, but be able to do it in person. And also by establishing those relationships, you have an opportunity for follow-up.
Speaking of following up, would you mind sticking around for another segment?
In this chair?
Yes.
Oh, that's where I'll stay.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Valley Shore Community Television is constantly adapting to the demands of our viewers. Busy schedules are making it hard for viewers to watch shows when they air.
Television has changed dramatically. We don't have to be appointment viewers or listeners anymore.
No.
We can do this in real time.
VSC TV has made it easy to watch all our locally produced content online and when you want it. Visit vsctv.com and click on the Watch Online tab to watch live, or visit our local show playlist to easily navigate your favorite shows anywhere, anytime, and on any device.
This world is for free. Freedom from the waves of this world.
VSCTV is your local Connecticut Mid-Shore Valley digital connection.
And welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show, sitting here with Ray Andrewsen from the Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce. Ray, welcome back.
It's good to be back.
Good, thanks for sticking around. So we have upcoming events with the Chamber of Commerce, the New Haven Chamber of Commerce. What's going on?
Well, we have a variety of events that are smaller in scale, as we mentioned before the break, and then larger in scale. So I'll highlight, if I can, a couple of our events.
Sure.
We have, of course, the Morning Mingle Business After Hours that you can go on our website for the Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce, gnhcc.com.
Okay.
That's gnhcc.com. And navigate through the site. You can see our events and just click down and register for those special events. And also our ongoing membership. We always encourage people to look at our membership packages and see some of the benefits. You get some great benefits by joining the Chamber, and great discounts for these events as well. So it's a great public access point for your business to come aboard, whatever size your business happens to be. We have businesses that are in-home businesses of 1 or 2 people, all the way up to those that employ hundreds up to 1,000. You know, so we and thousands of employees, as you know, is a fairly large company.
Right.
So we service all size businesses. Coming up on February 27th, we have a wonderful internship and career fair that's going to take place at the Schubert in downtown New Haven from 1 to 4 that afternoon.
Nice.
Last year we had over 40 exhibitors, all of the area colleges and universities, Yale, University of New Haven, Southern Connecticut State University, Albertus Magnus, and Quinnipiac University participated. And we also have some of our top level and top flight local employers and regional employers who are going to have tables there for those who are going to be coming to the event. And we encourage not only for internships, but for real jobs. So this is a job search event. So if you were in the same situation I was in 2019 looking for work, great place to bring your resume. Make sure you have your LinkedIn page already updated so that you're ready to rock and roll and ready to go right on that day. So that's coming up on February 27th at the Schubert in downtown New Haven. We do have just a couple of tables that are available too if your business organization would like to be there and set up a table as well. Go to our website. You can register for that and get more information at gnhcc.com. Starting on March 1st.
Yes. After
we've run around and brought our resume to everybody on that Thursday.
Yes.
On that Sunday, we kick off our Chamber Wellness event, which will be in downtown New Haven. And over the course of 3 months, we will have teams of up to 3 to 5 who will be participating in a walk in health challenge with lots of pop-up events that'll be going on all around New Haven. Little surprises. We don't have all of them now because they're going to be surprises.
Exactly.
But on the 1st, we kick off the event in downtown New Haven. Shayna Snyder of Fit Style is going to be very much involved. Eric Thompson as well from Blueback Health in Hartford, and others that are going to be part of our moving forward, our major sponsors, starting on March 1st. And those teams will be awarded at our Health Awards Breakfast that we'll be having sometime coming up in June. And that's an exciting day. April 23rd, we have our annual meeting. That's always the big event. I mean, it draws hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. On that day, we'll have keynote speakers. We always have honorees, local honorees. The nominations are coming in now. And we'll have them all put together and announced for April 23rd. So you'll want to be part of that event that's coming up here in New Haven. And that is going to be, I'm a new kid on the block. I believe that's going to be at the Omni downtown New Haven. That's where it's been the last couple of times out.
Got it.
I was going to have it in your backyard, but I didn't know. Could you set up the tent?
Probably.
Okay.
We could have it here.
Why not? Right out by the water.
There you go.
Direct waterfront. So that's April 23rd. So we'll have further details coming up on our website too. Then May 7th, we bring in the real estate community with our commercial real estate brokers. They talk about all these exciting apartment buildings in New Haven and all the development that's going on with Yale University participating, private investors, equity investors. New Haven is really moving with private money and investment right now. It's very exciting. A lot of great things are unveiled at this event. So that's May 7th, and we have further details on that coming up, gnhcc.com as well. And don't forget, as I said, the morning mingles, the afternoon business after hours. We have a Meet the Chamber event every third Friday of the month, so February 21st will be our next event for that. Gives you an opportunity to have a little pizza, get to know about our chamber, meet in the boardroom. By the way, it's New Haven pizza. So that's enticing enough. And that's going to be right at the chamber offices at 900 Chapel Street on the 10th floor, right on the green in New Haven.
Absolutely.
And we also have a lot of other councils. That's part of our membership where we try to use networking, and we have leads groups and other programs as well. And there are a lot of benefits that come with our chamber membership, which you can see those benefits that are right there on the chamber website. So I'm excited.
Me too.
About a year ago, didn't expect that I would be here wearing my suit talking about our Chamber of Commerce in New Haven.
I know.
But it's a wonderful experience to be there and to believe in the chamber and its efforts.
Now, what types of information can they find out on the Chamber of Commerce website?
Well, I first of all would say there's a lot.
Good.
And not just about membership, but our mission, also economic development. We're very involved with EDC. We have our own in-house economic development coordinator, someone who is actually working on behalf of our region, working with, to effectively work with developers, to work with other business groups, try to tie everything together. What chambers of commerce are for the communities, we're education centers. We serve, we give resources, we give training events, we give counseling, we give information, and particularly for those who are interested in the greater New Haven area. But we're not only the base of knowledge for this area, we're synthesizers, because we are able to take disparate groups, the arts community, government, the banks, the universities, the large-scale private employers in the area, the small businesses, small, medium businesses, bringing them all together, understanding their needs. And also, we are, in effect, too, advocates for business and growth. And whether it be for the Tweed New Haven Airport, to make the airport a long-term investment for our business growth and transportation needs. We also discuss other forms of transportation, rail, obviously commuting in Connecticut is a big issue.
Absolutely.
And taxation, to make sure that this is a business-friendly environment. And that's something we've struggled with a little bit in Connecticut over the last couple of decades. We were once a big economic powerhouse here. This state was on fire for many, many years. And we've kind of fallen a little bit into a challenging period of time with job development. We're lagging behind the nation, but we still place fourth in the latest Wallet Hub survey for economic, or I should say for educational viability in terms of being the fifth best state in terms of its well-educated populace. I mean, we're a very smart, brainy, and very well-skilled and talented group of people here in Connecticut. The rest of the country may not be aware of that.
Exactly.
But we have a lot of strengths, and we should capitalize on them.
Absolutely, absolutely. What else we want to talk about? We have some time left.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Just to go back and circle back to the beginning of this program. What I learned this past year is that the word networking is a cliche to many, and it's kind of an overused word, and it has a bad reputation. When someone thinks about networking, it sounds like I'm using you, Pete Mezzetti, for what I want next. I want your contacts on the head, but I want to get through you to somebody else. If I would say, instead of networking, let's call it friendship building. We need to be more aware of the fact that a helpful, engaged nature is really the best recipe for business development.
Yes.
Along with product development.
Yeah.
And marketing and all the other things in finance that go along with it. But to be really successful in your business, to really be a good manager, to really attract and retain good people in your company, to have a long-term strategy, to be a good planner.
Right.
All of this takes a certain level of empathy and connection.
Okay.
And sort of an ethos of service. And if you look at the most successful places that last, they generally have an element of that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about businesses on the way up as they ascend.
Right.
I am excited about being in New Haven because of the personal connection for me.
Absolutely.
It's a natural extension. Growing up and being a broadcaster, being a longtime resident of this area, meeting my bride who came here to New Haven to go to school and then stayed, married me out on the green in New Haven. I look at the church where I was married every day in my work life.
Okay.
And to have those kind of community connections, I think, and personal connections are so important. But what I've learned over the years is I know all the streets. It's kind of frightening because I had a career in real estate, commercial real estate before broadcasting as well. And I will go into a community and I've traveled those roads before. I've seen businesses come and go, and I understand many of our institutions and many of the people who've been leading those institutions over many, many years. So it's kind of joyous to be in a place where you have all these comfortable community reference points, you know. And it's beyond just Sally's and Pepe's for me. You know, I know every little haunt, and it's kind of fun to be in a business environment, to see all these places come at me every day, and to meet the people who run these places, and to really know how much talent we have, a considerable amount of talent, intellectual firepower, just really fine people who care about this region.
Exactly. Ray Andrewsen, thanks for coming down.
I would love to come back again.
We'll see you again soon.
All right. It's good to be
got
back,
it.
Pete. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of Ray Andrewsen, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks, good night, and we'll see you next time.